Hello, my name is Matthew Sweet, and this is Cyborg Escape. Set in the distant future, there's a cyborg being built in a factory. This cyborg becomes self-aware and is trying to escape the factory it is being built in. Using running, jumping, and climbing, the player must navigate the cyborg out of the factory before the timer runs out. The player will shoot enemies and collect nuts and bolts for a high score. Can you help the cyborg escape? Cyborg Escape will be a 2D side-scrolling platformer. Some similar games to Cyborg Escape are Super Mario Bros., Mega Man, and Contra. There are several decisions that the player can make when playing Cyborg Escape. Some key examples of these decisions are when a player chooses to jump to or from a platform either to gain a way forward or bypass an enemy, and when to climb a ladder or bypass that platform or ladder to save time. Some other examples of player decisions are whether to shoot an enemy or jump over it, and whether to collect a collectible or to keep running past it in order to save time. The goal of the player is to ultimately make it to the end of the level and in the least amount of time possible. The secondary goals of the player is to collect the nuts and bolts to build up their high score. The theme I have chosen for Cyborg Escape is a futuristic sci-fi factory. The first part of the game will take place in the factory, and then move to the city streets, and then into the country as the cyborg tries to make its escape from the creators. The rules of the game are basic, in that the player will use run, climb, and jump mechanics to traverse the platforms to make it to the end of the levels. The player will shoot or jump over their enemies. The player will try to collect as many nuts and bolts as possible and try to achieve the high score. What the player will actually do is use several mechanics throughout the game. These include run, jump, climb, shoot, collect, and score. The main antagonizing force in the game will be the timer. The player will have a certain amount of time to reach the end of the level before the timer runs out. If this happens, then the level must be restarted. The secondary antagonizing force in the game will be the enemies that spawn throughout the level. They will try to destroy the player with every chance that they get. The risks involved in this kind of a project of this scope are two different kinds. There are developmental and design risks. The developmental risks will be due to personnel and technical limitations, as we are going to be working in teams of 4 to 5 students. The design risks are that we will not have a game art student available to make our art, so we will have to do this ourselves. Thus, this could cut away time from the actual designing of the game itself. I hope you all have enjoyed this presentation, and remember, can you help the cyborg escape?